Welcome back to the show, everybody. This is Pro Wrestling Weekly, and we have some of the panel today, not all of the panel. And as you can hear, my voice is still gone from WrestleMania weekend. I want to thank everybody that joined us in the watch along, but this is where I lost my voice. Saturday night, talking all night, talking to everybody. Sunday night, and my voice just went on the hop. I woke up yesterday morning with no voice. It's barely back, but it's Tuesday. It's Pro Wrestling Weekly. I wasn't going to miss it. And we've got a packed out show today. We're going to talk WrestleMania. We're going to talk the issues that stemmed from WrestleMania, from fans. There might have been an ad or two on WrestleMania. I'm not really sure, but we may address that. And Sean has some good stuff to say. Keith has some, I don't know. And we have Sean Mack. Now, Sean Mack looks a bit different today, obviously. Quite frankly, it's not the best he's looked. We know Sean Mack can bring the sexy, but today is not that. Sean Mack, how are you?
I got a haircut for your information, but yeah, no, I'm okay. Um, Unfortunately, for some reason during the WrestleMania Night 2 watch along, my camera just turned off, and I tried testing it and logging out and jumping back in to no avail, unfortunately. But I do have this really cool Rode microphone. You would have saw it if you have seen my short on Sandman's final match, which may or may not have went up today. I don't know.
It is
But
not
yeah,
coming up yet.
it's not coming up yet, but you will hear it. My God, it's a minute and a half, but all killer, no filler. You can hear me better, but long story short, I am working on getting a new webcam, so you will be able to see my 4 out of 10 face, hopefully in a very near future installment
I know
of the
Sean
Tier
will be like
podcast.
that.
But we got to make do what we got to do, and I'm very looking forward to hopping in and digging into everything that happened this week.
You're a bloody hero, Sean. I'm really delighted to have you on. Keith, what's the crack, man? How are you?
I'm still feeling it from the weekend. I think maybe it's to do with my age or something like that. But
Too
yeah,
many Pepsis, was it? God bless you.
Well, it's still enough. Still some in there now. It's not like
I
that
know
bad
there's still
as
some in
you
there because
think.
there's a lot of pox. Listen, Sean O, a very good weekend for you. Possibly a really good Raw. We're going to get into it in a few minutes. Are you still feeling the buzz? Are you still happy?
I am 100,000% still feeling the buzz. WrestleMania was definitely my year this year, and we will get into it all in just a bit.
It's the Sean Show. So let's get straight into the comments because before we even came on, some really nice people left some comments. There's a few from Reggie. Reggie didn't bother watching WrestleMania after the Hall of Fame. Sid deserves better. Absolutely, we did talk about that on the watch along. So WWE treats their legends. Typical. You know what was funny about Hall of Fame? Stephanie McMahon getting inducted. Reggie, Stephanie McMahon should have been inducted. That's it. I didn't agree with the entire Hall of Fame, but she should have been inducted. When all she ever did was accomplish was sleeping her way to the top of wrestling. She didn't sleep her way to the top. She was born into it. And if you watch her Hall of Fame, you see her rise to it. Congratulations to those who actually got a proper inductions. Big up. Hope everybody on the pod and the chat enjoyed WrestleMania. Sorry for getting hot headed, folks. Not a bother. Look, Reggie, you ever want to get hot headed? This is the place to be. How many times have you seen me lose my head on this podcast? Probably one too many. I'm on blood pressure tablets because of this podcast. I swear to God. Hey, Kosa, good to see you, man. I'm so happy you're here. Really, really good to see it. Um, so we need a collab. You want to meet Moila Grace? Moila Grace. I don't know her personally. She's one of the nicest. She was very, very good to my daughter and my son as well. Really, really lovely person. And she'll be at an OTT event and she often does the meet and greets. Absolute lovely. I'm training in the Fight Factory Pro Wrestling in Dublin. One of the best training facilities in Europe. You are in the right place. Phil and Katie, phenomenal people, also treated me and my kids very, very well at the last FFPW show. I want to become a professional wrestler one day. I want to be like Lyra Valkyria, and I want to be the first Irish wrestler. It'll be great. You keep at it, Ikosa. Keep at it, man. You're gonna get it. You'll get there. You'll smash it.
Yeah, well, as Roger Miller said in his song, you can't roller skate in Buffalo Herd. All you got to do is put your mind to it, knuckle down, do it, do it, do it.
100%. I love that. Phenomenal. I love that. How are
All
you,
you gotta
Anto? How
do
are you, lads?
Run
One
to it.
cra- one plus of Pro Wrestling Weekly. There's no ads. Well, we'll see about that. I don't. There might be an
That
attitude
reminded
today.
me, Bren, I just got an email, a last minute sponsor, that the Upper Tier podcast is sponsored by the Hulk Hogan documentary. For every 2 minutes that my webcam's not working, we're going to show 17 minutes of the documentary uncut. That's it there. It's really, really good. You won't even have to watch it after, to be honest. But it's so annoying. I was trying to watch it, and then this thing called WrestleMania kept coming on, and I couldn't get away from it. Like, Jesus, man. Have some respect.
Phenomenal, Sean. Baz, what's the crack, man? Good to see you. Sorry about the voice. Sorry about the voice, everybody. But it will come back. Do you think WWE will come to Dublin again? Hey,
Yeah, of
House, I'm
course.
pretty confident they'll be here in 2027. Pretty confident. Sharon Lynch is in. Keith, did you ever get over your bitch fit after Cody retained his title? Yeah! Did you,
No
Keith?
comment. No comment.
Oh, we'll get to it. We'll
I
get
agree
to
with
it.
Keith.
Well, lads, how's it going? Layla's going to join us in a bit. She's just finishing Raw. Davy Kelly, no problem at all. I am smothering after the weekend. Ah, look, man, at least you probably still have a voice. Do you know Katie Harvey? I don't know her personally, but I've been lucky enough to meet her a couple of times, and she's a really, really lovely person. I know people that have been trained by her, and she's an excellent trainer. Honestly, they run a phenomenal school. Keep up with the FFBW, he goes, you're going to smash it. And Sean Reigns on the pro wrestling after WrestleMania. See, I'm gonna to be fair to Sean, his head has shown up on the Upper Tier podcast, now on the Upper Tier YouTube channel quite a few times
Acknowledge
over the
me.
last week.
Acknowledge me, Anto.
Sunday was definitely the strongest night. We'll get into it in a few minutes, Davey. Before we do, let's get into WrestleMania. We've got a bit of a packed show. I've already been talking for 10 minutes. I'm going to hand the reign over to Sean. Sean, what we're going to do is I'm going to talk about night one, and then we'll go into night two. Night one, Sean, take it away, my friend.
Absolutely delicious. And you know what? I'm going to be dead honest here. I actually think this was probably my favourite out of the two nights. For a few reasons, and we'll get into it. First of all, I'm on the same fence as Keith. We're both on the same side of the fence. I'm not happy about Cody Rhodes retaining one bit. But we move. It's all a bit of fun at the end of the day. Do I wish that Cody did not retain? Of course. But look, if we have to deal with another few months or maybe till SummerSlam, then so be it. And that's nothing against him personally. I thought the match was easily one of the best matches I've watched in a long while. And I think whether you're a Cody Rhodes fan or you're not, I don't think he's really had a bad match, in my opinion. I think all of his matches have been stellar nonetheless. One of them I'll always think of, and one of my favourite matches he's recently done is him versus Kevin Owens at the Royal Rumble. I don't think he's had a bad match. And I thought the match in Vegas last weekend, was nothing short of brilliant. So yeah, am I mad he retained? Yes. But as I said, we move. Liv Morgan picking up the women's world title. I said that I wouldn't mind if she picked up the title, and I wouldn't mind if Stephanie retained and Liv picked up the title. And I am not one bit mad over it. I'm actually quite happy she won, if I'm being honest. As much as I love Stephanie, I don't think she got the reign that she deserved. To be honest, compared to her NXT run, I think she was actually done quite dirty up on the main roster, and just really wasn't given the time of day. And I feel like it was kind of the same. What the fuck, Sean? What the fuck? Is that Cookie
That backfired
Monster?
massively. I couldn't get it in frame. Sorry.
Oh, you got it in frame. Don't worry, buddy. I feel like both Becky and AJ and Liv and Stephanie, it was more promo based than anything. And I think they did the best with what they could do, and that was take the ball and run with it. And I don't think they failed one bit at that. So look, I'm excited for Liv's reign, and I think she'll have a brilliant reign nonetheless. If she breaks away from the Judgment Day, I think we will get a phenomenal reign. And yeah, look, I'll talk a bit more about Liv Morgan when we get into Raw later, because one of my favourite things and exciting things happened, but we will get into that. Gunther and Seth Rollins, I thought, was another brilliant match. And I think people weren't really giving it the time of day either, because it was very last minute, short notice. No one really cared about it. Both equally loved men in WWE, but nobody really cared. And I really think this match delivered, if I'm being honest with you. I actually really enjoyed this match. It's great to see Seth Rollins back. And I think this year might be Gunther's year. I haven't said that yet, but I went back and watched the match from the other night, and I have a feeling this year will also be his year. Ooh, we'll
Sorry.
get
Ooh,
into
sneak
that in a bit,
preview.
Brendan. Sneak
Sorry.
preview. Ooh, teaser. It's like the Hulk Hogan teaser all over again. It's repetitive. We're seeing it over and over again. Becky Lynch and AJ Lee for the Women's Intercontinental title. Becky getting the title back, and I could not be happier.
Sean,
As
can I
much of
just
an
ask you a
AJ.
question here about that? Because the
Yeah.
last match that they had with AJ Lee and Becky, it wasn't the greatest, but I thought this was much better than the last time.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
I completely agree with you. And, I said it just a few minutes ago that I think between most of the women's matches this year, they've just kind of taken the ball and ran with it. They haven't been given much, but they're just running with it anyway. And I feel like the only option was kind of to put the title back on Becky. And that's not saying anything against AJ Lee. I talked about it last week on the women's show, that as good as AJ Lee is as a wrestler, I just feel like her promo skills have not been there in the segments. And Niall quite agreed with me. It's very hard to believe everything she says, I suppose. And of course we know it's all acting at the end of the day, but I feel like Becky Lynch's promo skills are just a bit stronger, and it comes across as that bit more believable. And it's always good, of course, to have some prestige put to the title, and both AJ and Becky, I think, have done justice for that. If only the women's United States got the same treatment, it might be on a few more pay-per-views too. Jacob Fatu winning against Drew McIntyre. This was another brilliant match. I really enjoyed this, and we got to see our lovable toolbox, folks. The toolbox made its long-awaited return at WrestleMania. We missed it dearly, and another brilliant match it was. Yeah, look, the Usos and LA Knight. I don't have too much to say about this match. It was enjoyable. I think I Show Speed, to be honest, was the highlight of that match, full stop. He was absolutely phenomenal. Just as I'm about to say, Sharon,
Well,
the Bellas, folks. Yes. Look, I said going into WrestleMania, the Bellas are winning the tap. Sean, you're playing with your photos here, buddy. You're playing your cards. You're skating on thin ice.
the people want to hear about the Bellas and Sean. Sean, the people want to hear how you felt. Go ahead.
Oh my God. This made WrestleMania for me.
It
I don't
technically
care
wasn't
what
the Bellas, though. It technically wasn't the Bellas.
It technically
was.
wasn't the Bellas, right?
It was a Bella.
I said it was a Bella, singular, one, Keith, just for the people who might be dyslexic in chat. Look, and that's not a personal attack of Bren. That's okay. If you can't spell, I'll teach you. Look,
100%.
absolutely phenomenal. I said going into WrestleMania that the Bellas will win the tag team titles, but obviously fate was not on our side this time. Nikki Bella recently getting surgery and ended up not being cleared for WrestleMania, which I was absolutely bummed about, because I'd say you are sick of hearing me at this point on the podcast talking about wanting the Bellas to win the tag titles, and it still will happen. We still will get both Bellas as tag team champions soon. I'm telling you. Keith's like, feck off.
No comments.
Look, Nikki came out and she announced that she was not clear, and of course the rumors were indeed true. And after 8 years away from home, the one and only Paige, not Saraya. Saraya was Paige's sister. Paige returned to WWE at WrestleMania Night 1 and teamed up with Brie Bella to win the women's tag team titles. And I could not be happier. I didn't know whether to believe the Paige rumors or not. So look, I said I'd take Lyra and Bailey as my second pick for the women's tag team champions. But I knew that if Paige was returning, that this was fate, that this was it, that her and Brie Bella had to win the tag team titles. And luckily I was right. And I could not be happier. I think this is going to be an absolute stellar reign nonetheless. They have a phenomenal manager in Nikki Bella now, and all is right in the world.
And there's me thinking, to be a good manager, you had to give a good promo. Wow, they allow anybody to be managers these days. Hey, Sean, I'm sorry, I'll give you WrestleMania second night in a second. Before I do, Keith, I'm going to let you cool down after hearing that about the Bellas, and I'm going to go to Sean Mack next.
No, I'm good, honestly.
Sean Mack, before I get to you, I just want to tackle a comment, okay? I'm going to tackle this comment here. Anyone hear about Randy's back? It's messed up. Do you think the result changed during the match? Heard a rumor on that. So the result didn't change during the match. Not a chance. Randy Orton went to management a few days before WrestleMania. This is the news that came out, and we knew his back was in a bit of a jocker going into WrestleMania. So I think they might have changed the result that week, but it certainly didn't change during the match, and it got a bit messy as well. But we will touch on it in a second. Sean Mack, talk to me about night one and your experience with night one. How was it?
Well, I'm delighted that Sean O had a good time with this, with night one especially, but unfortunately I don't quite share the same sentiments. To give you an idea, because unfortunately you can't see me, I'm Roman Reigns. I'm looking forward to a great card, and Paul Heyman is TKO and Hulk Hogan spraying it back, like stab me in the back, blinding me with mediocrity. I was quite disappointed with night one. Night one, especially since Triple H has taken over, has typically been the weaker WrestleMania, the weaker of the nights. And I've kind of come to accept that, but my God, it was so boring. First of all, Usos tag match, I mean, it was going to happen. Speed looked really good. Him doing splash at the end was cool. Speed's probably the celebrity shoehorned into feuds like an elephant in a lift that I hate the least, to be honest. I think he actually is very athletically talented, has a huge following, and yeah, good win for the Usos. Could have done without them running back at WrestleMania, but like it was bound to happen. Drew and Fatu, I wasn't a fan of this either. It was just okay. The fact it was an unsanctioned match made me think it was going to be much more violent than it was. Now, lads, I'm not expecting like thumbtacks or light shoe log cabins or any shit like that. But when a match is unsanctioned, right? Think of Sammy and Kevin. The feud has gotten so visceral and so personal and so violent. The company want nothing to do with this. So they're just providing the ring. They're not insured. They have nothing to do with it. The ring is there. Just watch it. So the guys should try and kill each other. The guys should dominate each other. Unfortunately, it was just like a pretty standard hardcore match. Obviously, the toolbox came back, and I imagine Drew McIntyre was a hair nervous working with that, considering what I did to him last time and CM Punk. But Fatu winning was the right move. He looked really good. I liked the flip he did to the outside on the table. But the thing is, if you're going to get two huge guys, two serial killers, right, and you're going to put them in an unsanctioned match, I wanted a bit more, to be honest. But it was okay. Now, the women's tag...
I think they're a bit constricted with time there. I think that's the reason why we didn't get a lot.
Yeah, no, there was a Hulk Hogan documentary, I think, that was floating around. I didn't even know about it. Sorry, I'm not spoiling that, am I? There's a Hulk Hogan documentary.
No.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, nice. I did not know this was coming out.
I haven't seen any clips of it whatsoever. I haven't seen any 4.5-minute chunks of it. So hopefully it's good. Anyway, Bella's winning. Look, I've said this a lot, right? Bren, if I say I'm going to punch you in the face, you're expecting it, but you're still not going to like it. But if it just happens randomly, you're going to hate it. So if you accept, the Bellas, they're on their way out. They're on their final run, so they're going to win the tag titles. If you just, let them have it, it's going to be fine, right? So I knew it was going to happen, so I wasn't upset. But I did hear Nikki Bella was injured. which I was surprised about, and honestly a bit disappointed about, because as much as I'm not huge on the bells, maybe not as I don't think I have to hate that you would like normally reserve for dictators or criminals like Keith does, but not my favorite. But even then, I don't wish for anyone to get hurt. So it was a pity. But to be honest, I could see Paige coming from miles away, but I was still really happy when she did come out. She really did feel like Paige again, and I think that was cool. Now the match was pretty short, as you said, strapped for time. It's a Hulk Hogan documentary they need to show. Apparently, that I wasn't aware about. But the thing is, I don't know if when Nikki gets better, are they just going to give her half of the title that Brie has, or not? Sorry, not Brie. The Paige has to her, or are they going to do like a horrible storyline where Nikki Bella's jealous because that was her WrestleMania moment on
That's
like
the one.
one of
That's
the last
the
runs
one.
of her career, and Paige took it. I don't know,
Yeah,
but
that's the
well,
one.
good for the Bellas, I suppose. The other thing is, for people getting upset about this, I don't anticipate it'll be very long. So don't you worry. We're not getting Bruno Sammartino territory here. I sure hope. But no, good. Becky and AJ, I thought was reasonably good. I've been a little bit underwhelmed with their feud as a whole. I was hoping that maybe at Mania they could get it over the line, but not really. The entrances were really cool. The little kids in AJ's entrance was really sweet, even if that kid went the wrong way, possibly because he heard that the Hogan documentary was on and had better things to do in his time, wanted to watch that. But the thing is, I've become accustomed, right? When they bring out kids to their entrance, it's so sweet. Because a lot of these times, these are local kids that are part of like youth groups and charities and Make-A-Wish kids.
Brilliant.
But unfortunately, it is a guarantee that they're going to lose and the match is going to be bad. Think of John Cena against Lesnar at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
How
yeah.
awesome
Sheamus,
and
man.
cute was that entrance? Like the sea of Cena, of little Cena kids. My God, it was so beautiful. And then he gets squashed in 10 minutes and barely gets a lick of offense. Same thing here. Not a very long match. I would have liked this match to be much longer. I could say that for pretty much the whole card. But no, Becky won. Right decision. Hopefully it can be good. Now, Gunther and Seth, I'll be honest, guys, this was the best match in night one. This is the only match on night one that really felt like it actually should happen at WrestleMania. Isn't it amazing how all these other matches that had builds up to like 9 months under-delivered, and the match that was
Two
thrown
weeks.
together 2 weeks beforehand was the best one on the show?
I said 2 weeks ago, Sean. I said they literally had about 2 seconds of each other in the ring, and it was magic. They made magic out of 3 seconds. You're spot on what you say. Phenomenal.
No, it was incredible. Really, really good match. Great to see Braun Breaker. That's his Belgian chef. Braun Breaker. Great to see him back. I feel he's really injected some life into the vision, which I'm sure we'll talk about when we get to Raw. But no, great stuff. Then Liv and Stephanie. Now, I talked about Jacob Fatu and Drew McIntyre being visceral, right? Being personal and violent. This match, this build has been going on a long time. They've mentioned each other's parents, deceased parents. Stephanie did a promo in a foreign language, literally in no lesser terms, telling Liv Morgan that her entire bloodline will die in shame because of her. So this match needed so much more. And it got 6 minutes. 6 minutes. And I think this is actually one of the, I'd heard a statistic, I think it might have been one of the shortest, not even women's matches, championship matches at WrestleMania ever. Like even Kane and Chavo Guerrero would be like shivering a little bit. But and speaking of Liv Morgan, her entrance, AJ Lee's entrance was cool. Becky's entrance was great, even though I don't think the band were quite on time. Jesus Christ, Liv Morgan's entrance was brutal.
What?
Yeah, lip
I
syncing.
thought it was freaking class. I mean, it would have made it better if she was singing live, but I thought it was a freaking class entrance.
Even the Wonder Years were live. And that can be debated, but they were more.
They weren't
like the
live.
entrance. The thing is, like, it was a cool. It was a cool.
They were
entrance.
there, but were they there?
Do you know why? Do you know why the Wonder Years weren't allowed to sing live?
Yeah, because what's his name?
Because
Porky.
They're liable to say "Free Palestine," and now great YouTuber going to make this more.
Sure, WB can just go to black. They do that for lesser things.
Yeah, crazy.
If they go to black when someone gives the middle finger, what do you think they're going to do if he says all that stuff? But Liv's entrance, the thing is, it was like, it was sexy. She was sounding that there's no one cooler or better than her, and she gets 6 minutes. and Stephanie
Trouble,
getting
trouble.
nothing. Speaking of,
It's-
let's keep Liv Morgan's theme. Let's bring back Stephanie Vacchieri's old theme. That was a Def Rebel
Yes.
theme. No obligation to lose it
Yes,
whatsoever, and she
please.
loses.
Insane. I
Bollocks.
like her current one, but her old one so
Oh, her
much
old
freaking
one.
better.
Our new one's
Need
way
old
better.
one.
It's more metal. Then the main event. Oh dearie me. Talked about speed. Pat McAfee, I feel, is the wrong guy at the wrong time, but I think his heel work was genuinely brilliant. The
Yep.
boos that he got were insane. When he came back out later with the neck brace, that was great. But when I think of bad, and by bad I mean horrible celebrity attractions in wrestling, there's no name that I can think of worse than Jelly Roll. And I'm very, very glad his involvement in this match was brief.
Travis Scott.
Yeah, at least Travis Scott didn't hang
Don't you
around.
dare.
That's the one thing I'll say about him.
Like a
He
bad
ruined
smell.
John Cena's wrestling, but still. But at least it was brief. The match I thought again very visceral, like Drew and Fatu and Stephanie and Liv. Years of history, years and years and years and years of history. So personal, so intense, and the match was really, really boring. It's just like slow, a lot of rest holds, not a lot of violence. Nice to see blood, and then the finish kind of just came out of nowhere, really.
Yeah.
So very underwhelming end to the show. To be honest, I'm very happy night 2 turned out to be better because after this, I had no hope for WrestleMania. So
Yeah.
Seth and Gunther, bless their hearts. Everyone else, hang your heads in shame, especially Jelly Roll.
Same role, actually.
That was amazing shot. Fair play to you. Keith,
Sorry
before I
about
get the comments, no, that was a deadly shot. Comments are coming in, so I just want to get a few of them and I'll get to yourself. Randy Orton, so Acers have come in and he's confirmed he did feel twinges in his back since the Royal Rumble, so they knew something was up. Absolutely loved Fatu beating Drew. It was quite a long time coming. Yeah, but it should have been longer, no doubt about it. Night 1 was completely, utterly garbage, says Acers. He's with you all the way. F off, Sean. She is too. I assume she's talking to Sean O.
About what?
I don't know. The Bella, which is Brie Bella.
Please
Absolutely.
clarify before telling me to fuck off.
I agree. The title of Julia Jordan Grace be great US champ. Bring back a nobody that hasn't been there for years. Hand the title. Piss off. Fantastic talent. The women's the division deserves better. Lyra
Jesus,
and Bailey should have won the tag team belts. Also, I think there's issues with Bailey at the moment. I've said it for weeks now. I think she's on the way out. That's a great show. Oh, it's a bullseye. No Page appearance on Raw. Very poor. There was, but she was just in the crowd. That was it. We'll get to Raw in a few minutes, Anto. But yeah, it was Raw underperformed in my opinion. Can't wait for SummerSlam. 3 matches in the pipeline show. Brock Lesnar versus Gunther in his retirement match. Wow. Okay, we'll talk about that. Cody Rhodes versus CM Punk. And World Heavyweight Roman Reigns versus Obafemi. Potentially. But the retirement we'll talk about because I have a feeling about that as well. Who the F made her manager? Nikki Bella's
Who?
not the manager. That's what she's saying. Nikki Bella's not the manager.
Well, she couldn't wrestle, not to make a difference, but like, what was she going to do?
She
She's the
can just
manager.
stay at home. Dave Kelly.
All right.
Yeah, we did speak that Saturday morning. Either way, it's definitely taking time off now. They would have not won without Paige, to be honest with you.
No,
So Sharon's
they
saying
absolutely would have.
they weren't booked. Sorry, is your man still making his way down those stadium steps? Are you talking about the dude that fell? Because that was hilarious. If you haven't seen
Oh,
the
that was gas.
What?
No.
Someone fell.
yeah, well, Sean, we'll send you the video. It's very good. Dan, how are you, man? Good to see you. They were her nieces that were beside her on the way to the ring. I didn't know that.
Oh,
Bren, I think you said I'm hoping for Paige and AJ to run it back. David wants Paige and AJ to run it back, and by the looks of things, so does Sean. Anto's
yeah, I think
in.
that'd be good.
Jessica Carr should have battered Becky and caused another ref to come out. I think that would have been so cool. Liv Morgan doing her Britney Spears moment at WrestleMania, says Acers. That's what came to mind, Acers. At least Stephanie is a bit of class. Liv Morgan coming out looking like a slapper. His bollocks.
Like a slapper.
Oh my God. With a bit of luck, she'll be gone again. Strong word, Sharon. Layla hates Liv song that and the performance was awful. It was like the Pussycat Dolls, really.
No,
Stephanie
she's right.
wants her old one back, and she's not very happy that she had to change it anyway. I did hear that.
Yeah.
Reggie, just watch the Hulk Hogan and enjoy it. Sure, Terry might have told the Porky and waffled it constantly. The fella is dead. Let him rest. Nobody said a bad word about him, Reggie. To be fair, it was just more about the
Even in death,
advertising.
he's getting his way over other people. I mean, that's so metal.
You were slagging people with dyslexia, Sean. Yeah, so that's what she was talking about.
I wasn't slagging. I have a 2 actually. So,
You were just severely mocking.
Yeah, no.
Stay in your own lane is what
I
Nikki
know.
should do. Is stay away, and then
Stop
of
putting words in my
course
mouth, Sean. Mac.
that's Gunter's favor for SummerSlam. Brock versus Gunter. So I don't know about that. It. I hope it's legitimate because for Brock to come back to have a retirement match with Gunter would be predictable, terrible, horrible, and we don't want it. And I have a feeling you Acers might be right and you might be right, David, but that
Yeah.
makes
Well,
me
the other
sick.
thing we have to remember, Mr. Reed, is that SummerSlam's actually in Minneapolis. Oh, sorry. Oh, so
Minnesota.
I thought you were going ooh because I called the teacher, Mr. Reed. But SummerSlam is in Minneapolis, which is Brock's hometown this year. So there's
Is it
every chance that will happen. He won't go
Minnesota?
out with
Oh,
maybe
look who
not
it
a
is. It's
banger.
part-time Dave.
Dave's in.
No,
There's no bigger slapper than Sean Reigns. He's calling you Sean Reigns.
Thanks.
Holy
well,
shit.
the part
Holy
timer is
shit.
currently here, and I don't know where you are, Dave.
Hey!
Oh,
What's fair home?
that's
Oh,
why he's
Lord.
been my best friend for so long.
Yeah. There needs to be a darts wrestler, and he uses the BFT, but he calls it BFH. Bus fair home. All right. Like Jim Bowen used to say on Bullseye.
Yes. Phenomenal. Sean, that was amazing. Keith, I'm going to go to you. Night one, my friend. Take us home for night one.
Yeah, look, I won't say as much because everyone like yourself, Sean Mackey, made good points, and so did Sean O, aside from the Bellas, made good points. Oh dear God. Look, the 6-man tag, it was good. But I thought, I'm not a big fan of what's his name? Show Speeds. He did well for the limited time that you've been given. I agree with Sean Macklin about that non-sanctioned match. Like, it could have been a hell of a lot better, but I think they were stuck for time with that because they had to cram everything within the first hour. Because after that, then they go into the actual pay-per-view itself without ESPN. The only thing I could say about the Bellas thing is that it was nice to see Paige back because I'm a fan of Paige's. Other than that, what is he saying? I don't even know what he's talking about.
He's slagging. He's basically saying, you're saying, it's okay. Wasn't great, to be honest with you.
Oh, shut up, Dave. Go back to your singing and audition, whatever you're doing. Anyways, yeah, look, it was great to see Paige. Actually, how long she's been off now? Like 10 years or something. So
Yeah.
really, it'll be interesting to see what they're going to do with her in the future. The Becky Lynch and AJ Lee match, it was better than the last one, but I'm just glad it's over with now because it's just ran its course. I have to say Gunther and Seth Rollins is really, really good match. Didn't give enough time for it, unfortunately. I wanted to see at least another 15 more minutes in that. I'm not happy with the outcome with Liv Morgan winning it. I wasn't a big fan of her entrance, to be quite honest with you, even though Steffi Vercour got a normal entrance and she didn't get nothing for it. So I'm not really happy with that. But look, these women will talk about what happened on Raw anyway, so I'll go into more detail about that.
Yeah.
I have to say Cody Rhodes' entrance was phenomenal. It was probably one of the best entrances I've ever seen at WrestleMania. It was so brilliantly well done. For like, I can't say anymore. It was brilliant, absolutely phenomenal. Didn't like anything about the match. I thought the match was absolutely hokey and shit, to be quite honest with you, just with Pat McAfee. Sorry, Bren. It's just hokey and shit. The outcome of it I heard is because Triple H didn't want the title to be switched over so many times. Then why did you give it to Cody Rhodes in the first place then? Like,
Agreed.
Right.
Like-
So that's it. That what you're talking about there, Keith, is a headline. Most of what you see, I'd say about 80%, 8 to 90% of what you see on wrestling news websites headlines are basically assumptions made up. Like, how many people have sources backstage? Everybody and their mother's brother's dog's uncle has a source backstage, and it's a lot of bollocks at this stage. I don't think Triple H made that decision because he wanted to keep the belt on Cody for longer because he didn't want to switch the belt back and forward. I think Randy legit has back issues.
If that's the case,
Uh,
then okay, I can understand
That's what
why
I
he's
think.
keeping at the belt. If that is the case, okay, I'll understand that. Look, it wasn't the best of the two nights, in my opinion. Sorry, Sean. I just personally, what ruined it for me was there was no flow to it. The matches that had no flow to it, they were over as quick as they started. There was no heel turns. Like, even if Alexa Bliss turned on Charlotte, I would have like, okay, fair enough, we're getting something during the night. There was hardly any John Cena in it. He just came out and just said, "Oh yeah, 40 odd thousand," and he just fecked off for the night. Like, he didn't do anything with him backstage. It was just very lackluster. There was not a lot going on for night one. Very disappointing. The matches itself were solid. I can't fault the matches. A lot of them were solid, really good. It's just they were not given enough time. And as we said, the Hulk Hogan stuff just kindly really just ruined the vibes a lot of the time because there's just too much of it. Other than that, I thought night two was a hell of a lot better than night one.
Thanks, Keith. And just before we go into night two, a word from our sponsor.
Oh, brother.
Oh my God,
We will
forgot to
now
mention
be broadcasting the first of 14 17-minute excerpts from Hulk Hogan, Real American.
American. Oh my God, how did they get him on such short notice?
Oh, come on.
Thanks
Man's
again
a
to
bit.
our sponsor, the Hulk Hogan Real American podcast. Now, Bren, next slide.
It's also sponsored by
do.
Cricket Wireless.
Before we do, and Credit One bank loans. He doesn't need to come back. He went out on his own terms. I believe that as well, Sharon, but I do think there's some truth to what Acers is saying. And I think that's what the favor will translate to. Some people disagree with it, but it's just so predictable. I always say it, WikiLeaks wrestling entertainment. Absolutely horrendous if that happens, and I hope it doesn't. He goes, I'm going to the Fight Factory Pro Wrestling on Friday, going to my training. Amazing. Keep that up, like I said, and you're with like Fight Factory Pro Wrestling. The foundation of them is Finn Balor. You know what I mean? Sheamus went through there as well. Absolutely
Lyra
phenomenal.
as well, didn't she?
Lyra Valkyria, stay with Fight Factory Pro Wrestling. It's probably you won't get any better training in Europe. They're absolutely phenomenal. Okay, next comment. LA Knight versus Gunter set for Backlash. Fatal four-way for the Intercontinental. Yvonne Evans, Penta, Miro, and Ethan Page. That would be cool. I am down with that. I am down with that, Acers. It would be cool to see Evan Page win it, but we'll get to that. We'll get to it. We'll get to. Yes, Keith. At last, somebody agrees with me about Liv. Cody's entrance was phenomenal. One of the best entrances I have also ever seen, Keith. Speed does not belong in a wrestling ring. I don't know, Reggie. He was pretty good. I'm against that as well, but he was pretty good. We seen that much of the document that we don't even have to watch it. We'll watch it anyway. Oh, we ain't though. Sure, we'll watch it anyway. I
What
can tell you
documentary?
now. There's a Hulk Hogan documentary. I think it's coming out tomorrow.
Is
I
there?
will be watching it.
Is it?
It was absolutely
Wouldn't have guessed.
amazing out there. And let me see. Have you to say, Bren, you are wrong. Sheamus was IWW, not FFPW. To be fair, that is correct. I jumped the gun a bit. Dan, I appreciate it.
Roasted.
Dan is our correspondent. He corrects us when we're wrong. He's our researcher. He's like Joe Rogan's Jamie. And he also has a show coming up in the upper tier soon. More about that in the coming months. But I appreciate that, Dan. You're dead right. IWW, not FFPW. But yeah, dead right. So I was wrong. Thanks for making the show me, Dan. Jelly Roll is a main eventer, says Ripshot. Jelly Roll is
He's
a main
on.
eventer.
I mean,
He
he's on
eats
main
like a
event.
main eventer.
Sean Screen is giving the pod the Bella virus. Boot him off. Nobody wants the Bella virus. Now, let's
Don't
get
you
on
have
to
a
what's
job to not
seen.
have? Sorry, do.
Oh, he does have a job, actually. Get on to what we're going to get on to WrestleMania Night 2. Let's do it a little bit quicker. Highlights and lowlights. And Sean O, I'm going to come back to you, my friend. This is night 2. There was 6 matches. These are your winners. How did you feel about night 2? You didn't watch it with us. You watched night one with us. So I'm very interested to see how you thought of night two.
So I did skip the main event, but I went back and watched the next day. Obviously, I was up early for college, but what I did see of the show, I absolutely loved. Rhea Ripley picking up the women's championship, absolutely brilliant. And I think we can all agree this was probably Jade's best match of her whole reign. I think this was a
Mhm.
brilliant match, and it was actually nice to see her using new and different moves. Um, Overall, I think this match was brilliant. It was great to see Rhea pick up the title, and hopefully she will have a great reign. And I thought the finish was brilliant. The way she went into the Riptide
Amazing.
was very, very creative. Overall, an absolute brilliant match. We finally got to see the demon Finn Balor back, and it absolutely
Well, Sean has had enough of that. He's
Was that
decided to
Cavan
I
messed
freeze.
think
up?
Your internet
what's
go there.
wrong.
You're back now.
I'm back.
So yeah, you stopped at the demon and how good it was to see him, and that's where you were.
Sorry. The Wi-Fi isn't great. You know, we're out in the arsehole of nowhere. So, as Keith just say, we're in the sticks.
Keep that
So
wheel spinning. Keep it spinning.
yeah, I'm pedaling. You can't see, but I'm pedaling at the moment, just to keep the lights on. You know, great to see the Demon Finn Balor back, and a brilliant match it was. I think Dominic Mysterio. I think we can all agree Dominic Mysterio the past year or two has just been phenomenal. And Bren, I know you're a big Dominic Mysterio fan as well.
I am.
Um, and I don't think he's had a bad match either. Overall, we finally have the old Finn Balor back pre-Judgment Day, and I could not be happier. I think this was the best start and the fresh start that was very much needed. So as well as 2026 being the year of Gunter, I 100% think it's the year of Finn Balor. And we will talk more about that very soon. Trick Williams picking up the United States Championship. I couldn't be happier about this as well. I did not want to see Sami Zayn as champion. Absolutely hated the homeless bum as champion. I think from what I've heard, he's gone back to the shelter to work in the soup kitchen. Hallelujah. So look, I think Trick, I think Trick will have an absolutely brilliant reign as well. I'm a massive Trick Williams fan. I have been since NXT, and I'm very excited to see what he can do with the title. I'm praying to God he can elevate it, and he 100%. We talk about Jade looking the part. I think Trick just as much looks the part. Penta retaining the Intercontinental title. I thought this was a phenomenal match. One of my favorite matches over the two nights. And did anybody see Rey Mysterio hitting his head of the ladder? Looked fierce, painful.
Is this when he put Rusev through the ladder?
Yeah, you could see he went forward and walloped his head of the ladder. It looked extremely so. Overall, happy enough he retained. But I still would have liked to see Javon Evans win the title. I'm hoping that's not too far down the road. And Obafemi beating Brock Lesnar, I think, was the cherry on top of the cake. I kind of seen it coming, to be honest with you. But I think it made it a lot worse seeing Brock Lesnar retired. Definitely brought tears to my eyes as I have enjoyed him. I've enjoyed him as WWE champion. And I think one of my favorite moments of him being in WWE was Cowboy Brock Lesnar as champion. I absolutely enjoyed that. But yeah, I think this has definitely elevated Obafemi's career and without a doubt a future world champion. Speaking of world champions as well, Mr. Roman Reigns, as well as myself, a part-timer, but we're going full-timer, so I hear. We'll see how long that lasts. Has picked up the world heavyweight champion.
You just walk yourself
Finally,
into this. You
I
just
really
walk
did.
yourself. Yeah.
I
We'll see how long Sean lasts as a full timer. Get up out of that, will you?
Bets are taking place now.
we're
I'm only,
twins.
I'm only messing. Only messing.
I didn't walk. I skipped. Look, Roman Reigns picking back up the title. Thank God. I really did not like CM Punk as champion. I'm just going to be dead honest. I'm a CM Punk fan, but I am 1000% not a Phil Brooks fan. Absolutely hate him. But other than that, he did have quite a good reign nonetheless. His promos were phenomenal. But I am happy to see Roman Reigns back on top, which I never thought I'd say. The only thing I'm saying, if WWE or TKO is listening, please, please, God, do not give us a 4-year reign. A few months till at least SummerSlam maybe or WrestleMania, I don't care, and be done with it. Do not give us a 4-year reign,
We'll
because
get to that.
I will absolutely go
We'll get
insane
to
if you
that.
do. But
We-
overall,
Well,
I'm very excited to see him on top again. I think he'll be a brilliant world champion, and I'm actually very excited this time around for him to hold the title.
yeah, look, we'll get to the Roman Reigns thing when we get to Raw, because there's a couple of things that people are saying. Before we do, I'm gonna grab some comments again. They're coming in. Night 2 was better, but it says Bonkers. A lot of people agree with you, Bonkers. I've heard some people say Night 1 was better. Night 2 was good, says Ripshot. In contrast to Night 1, it came across as the greatest WrestleMania of all time. Tremendous. I can't say I was disappointed with the results. Each win was deadly. Even if Jade did regular matches like she did, the match would be deadly. I messed that up, Sharon. Sorry. Jade was class. Bro, where is the wrestling in WWE? You'll have to ask TKO that, because they're like crabs. Not crabs to disease, as in crabs SpongeBob, as in money. I like money. You know what I mean?
Fuck's sake,
Uh,
Kieran.
yeah, I
Fucking
shouldn't have
Yoda.
said that.
That's all I
Actually, Jade,
remember.
I agree with David 100%.
yeah, 100 Dave, you're spot on as always, my man. Ladder match was great. Jade versus Rhea was good, yeah. And I thought, then I thought it was gonna be, yeah. Look, me too, Bonkers. And I thought the ladder match deserved more time, is the only thing. But you'll hear a night of that. And those in night 2 was a belter. However, the pox bottle lads was again a shit 3 hours 38 minutes. Showtime only 1 hour 26 in matches. Only segment was Danhausen one was brilliant. The matches were fantastic. Exactly. Did you see Rusev do his ankle when he fell awkwardly? Well, when he showed up on Raw, he looked all right. He looked okay when he showed up on Raw. Correct results, in my opinion. Ober versus Brock was great, but it was way too short. I think it was as long as it needed to be, Anto,
Yeah.
to be honest with you. In fairness, CM Punk does absolutely cracking promo, Sharon. He's one of the best. Nobody touches him. Javon Evans didn't win the title in NXT. What makes you think he's winning it this early? There you
That
go.
was absolute bull crap that he didn't win a title in NXT. So if he doesn't get the Intercontinental title in the next few months, I don't know what WWE are doing. They're making a big mistake, in my opinion. But they do
So,
have a history in not giving people titles in NXT and then giving them one on the main roster. Bianca Belair being a great example.
I love Ripshot's comments here. Some in-depth analysis and critique there, Sean O. Or coming like Dave Meltzer. Get up out of that. I believe that today, WWE, bro, wrestling has been.
Bro,
I'm not saying the F word. And the ticket prices. Are you kidding me? I blame TKO. It is their fault on what's going to be the downfall of the WWE. Financially, it doesn't look like their downfall. And really, Mr. Krabs, TKO, hello. I like money, is what you meant.
Money, 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 money.
I know. So, Sean Mack, take us through your experience with Night 2. Whilst you're doing that, I'm going to grab me lights.
all right, I'll go quick, and I promise by quick I mean 20 minutes. Overall, night 2 was much better than night 1, but I still think it only pushed the entire WrestleMania show up to like a 3 out of 5. Oben Brock was really quick. The right result. Was very shocked to see Lesnar retiring. I don't buy it though. I have no reason to believe he's actually gone. But if he is, then thanks Brock. I suppose you didn't need to see you back. Could have done a Lesnar match, but he was great in his day. So fair play. Ladder match was brilliant. I wasn't sure if Penta was going to win, but everyone looked great, especially poor LJD. I feel his only purpose in that match was to eat all the shit, get every bump, like every single one. That destroyer on the ladder in particular was rotten. Good rotten though. And a great match. And it comes to show you that you don't have to do Money in the Bank ladder matches in WrestleMania, but ladder matches at WrestleMania always deliver. So do them more often, please.
Yeah.
Trick
Absolutely.
and Sammy
Yeah.
was okay. I don't know what Sami Zayn has done that everyone hates him now. I don't understand. I did
It's
see
just
him
his
in Toronto
character.
today eating a
It's his
burger in an
character,
alleyway, but
Sean.
like, I don't know.
I think
That's
it's just his
bullshit.
character.
That's
He's a
bullshit,
bum.
Keith. That's bullshit. That's bullshit, Keith. That's
It's not
bullshit,
though. It's his
Sean.
character.
It's his
he-
What do you mean
character.
his
It's
character?
boring as
He's
hell. It has
literally
not
Yous
changed
are,
since
yous are
his
repeating
debut.
exactly. Hang on a minute. I'm just going to get rid of this for a second. Yous are repeating
Sorry about the
exactly what
child.
Noel said. That's what yous are doing. And I like Sami Zayn again. And I'll say this again. This is my last time saying it. Good matches, tick. Good promos,
Yeah, but they're
tick.
presenting him as a whiny
But look,
face. He's a
a
whiny
whiny
face. That's not contrasting with the crowd, and the crowd are not taken to it.
crowd
And
are
let's admit,
impatient.
he wasn't
And
helping himself.
wouldn't it, the crowd are impatient. Where I'm impatient as a wrestling fan as well. Like we're impatient. Unfortunately, times move too quickly now, and that's one of the biggest issues with WrestleMania is the matches were too short. There were too many ads. And now it's like, well, Sammy's not moving quick enough. His story isn't there. I don't buy that for a second. Anyway, look, lads, I'm sorry to cut over you. Sean, back
Rest
to
that
you.
voice, Brian. Rest that voice.
You know what? You're right.
Yeah.
I
Shut
need to
up.
take- I need to take those blood
I'm
pressure
just saying it in
tablets.
a nice way,
Mm.
Sean.
I'm going to make sure Brian never speaks again. 'Cause I'm
I,
going to tell you how terrible Sami Zayn is. And I'm also going to explain how JCW had the biggest crowd at WrestleMania weekend. Nah,
Oh,
no. I won't do that. But Vampiro retired, had a match with PCO and I think, Vito or something. Might be quite good, but anyway. Yeah, ladder match was brilliant. Trick and Sammy was pretty good. Trick was the right guy to win. Very, very long coat. I can't imagine what that was like backstage. Must have been a nightmare if someone stepped on it. The whole thing was over. Yeah, I wasn't stoked about Sammy winning the title back that easily. I think he can easily win it again, but I think Trick is the right guy to put it on. The Demon and Dominic, they made it a street fight because it, to be honest, needed a stipulation. Wasn't crazy about this, to be honest. I mean, awesome to see the Demon, the entrance. When it wasn't totally nighttime, but when it's dark in the stadium, looks really, really, really cool. So it was all right. I guess no title on the line. I don't care. Rhea and Jade. I was expecting this to probably be one of the worst matches of the show and of the weekend entirely, but it ended up
forever.
being really, really good. Jade, as much shit as we gave her, did really, really well. Rhea Ripley looked great, but it was absolutely Rhea Ripley the right decision to win. And that's merely, the star power, and everyone's like, oh, it's the same cycle of women. That I think this was the second title defense Jade has had. And when did she win that belt? Like
November.
20 years ago, something like that. I don't know.
20 years
So
ago.
we need, if you want this championship to be as big as a deal as you promote to be, you have to see it and it has to constantly be defended. I'm hoping that Rhea Ripley will do that. And then the main event, Punk and Roman, was absolutely fantastic. It's amazing how the WWE can have us 24 hours beforehand saying this is the worst company in the world. This is worse than WrestleMania 9. I'm never watching this company again. To then have a great main event and then have us fully pulled back in. I would have liked Punk to win, but I think a refresh is always a good thing. Presuming Roman is actually not going to be part-time, as he says, I think it's going to be great. But yeah, wonderful, wonderful main event to a pretty average WrestleMania. I'd give it overall maybe a 3 out of 5. Quite underwhelming. TKO are complaining about it as if they aren't the ones that dug the hole and threw everyone in it. So hopefully we'll get better from here. But no, as WrestleMania goes, it was pretty damn average. But that main event saved it for me.
Deadly. Thanks, Sean. Well, before we get to you, Keith, we're just going to run through a few comments that are coming in really fast tonight. Brian, is that your Fair to Spare t-shirt? You're damn right, Sharon. And a big shout out to you and Anto, who supplied the t-shirt. I really appreciate it. And the ZX Cola. I was delighted Penta retained. Yeah, look, I mean, it was a cool decision. Bro, am I going to get stretched? Reggie, I would never stretch you because my point is true. I just don't like saying the F word. Layla's in. Hey, how are you, Layla? What's the crack? One question. Where was the watch along for us? What bar was it? It wasn't River Bar. It was not River Bar. It was the Wool Shed. So the Wool Shed just off Harnell Street, which, by the way, it's not a bad spot to go watch a wrestling event. The people that run it are pretty cool. I will say that, and it looked cool. Dave said he had a good night there despite the event not been good because Dave, of course, decided to sleep with the enemy the night before. I'm only messing, they're not the enemy. But yeah, no, it's called the Woolshed. You've been before, I
Yeah.
think, Dave.
My friend was
Where's
actually there.
Niall?
He was on the balcony and he got spotted. So he's gonna next time I see him, he will probably never shut up about that for the rest of his life. So not looking
Well,
forward to that. But no, really
he
cool,
made
really
his
really cool.
he made his WrestleMania debut the same time as Obafemi, technically.
Wow.
Where's Niall? Layla. Niall is still in Las Vegas. He will not be back until the end of the week, but don't you worry. Things will be back to normal next week. I'll have my full voice back. Niall will be running the show, and it'll be all good.
Didn't he get
Match of
kidnapped by a pack of Sami Zayn fans?
that was organised by me.
Can we get a short
Match,
on that?
match of Mania.
Well, lads, I'm
Well,
currently being held hostage. What did you think of WrestleMania? Let me know your thoughts.
um,
Spear video was to throw us off the track.
match
Dear
of
me.
Mania was Punk and Roman. One of the
Easily.
for sure. Layla, he is on the way home from Las Vegas. He's on the way home, Sharon. What do you know that we don't? As far as I was concerned, he is on the way home. He's coming home. Oh, brilliant. Looking forward to seeing you again, Niall. Safe journey, bro. Oh, okay. And then the last comment, sorry. Oh, I thought he was on his way home. Sorry. He is on his way home, Sharon. I'm only messing. He'll be
Yeah,
home.
Layla, we
He-
love people who can solve their own queries. Where is he? Oh, fair enough.
no, no, it will be. I think he's in the airport. He's on his way to the airport, or he will be. But he'll be home by tomorrow anyway. Keith, take us home for night two. And after we talk about night two, we still got Raw. But before we get to Raw, there's a couple of other things about WrestleMania and surrounding WrestleMania that we're going to talk about. But before we get there, Keith, talk to me about night two. What was your experience like?
It was much better than night one, I have to say. It was very well laid out for Oba and Brock Lesnar. I think Anton mentioned it was a bit too short. I don't think it was. It was perfectly timed for a match like this with two guys. You don't need 20, 30 minutes for a match like this. 10 minutes is perfect. The right person won for it. As I agree with Sean Mack, I don't think this is the end of Brock Lesnar. I just think this is part of a storyline that they're trying to develop into something. And the Penta thing as well, I'm delighted Penta won because he deserves to have the IC title for at least a couple of more months, even if it's up to SummerSlam. Again, I agree with Sean Mack. They need to have more ladder matches for going forward with WrestleMania because it just adds to WrestleMania, it makes it more exciting. The Trick Williams match was okay, delighted with the outcome. I would like to see Trick facing Carmelo Hayes now, probably after this. We'll see what happens on SmackDown. The Finn Balor match was okay. It wasn't really that exciting, to be quite honest with you. Really cool entrance. Really, really enjoyable seeing him coming out as the Demon. Jade Cargill, I'm not a fan of Jade Cargill, as we know, but she did have a really good, solid match. But it's, I think it's actually, if you have the best woman in the wrestling business, you're going to have a good match with her, And for the ending, I thought it was phenomenal. A brilliant match. The way they told the story in the ring and the way they laid it out, they gave them enough time. Think of that, lads. They actually gave this match enough time compared to anything else. 35 minutes, and it didn't disappoint. Honestly, I know Roman Reigns. We weren't all keen for him to win in it, but at least now he's going to stay on till SummerSlam full time. So at least that's something. But I know we're all thinking maybe The Rock was going to come out or something like that. But after seeing that match, I wasn't really disappointed at the end, and even though it ended just like that at the end and nothing else happened, still happy with it. The ladder match, sorry, I forgot to say, was a bit short, but was still enjoyable. Overall, much better second night. Like Sean Mack said, it wasn't overall a great Mania. It had its good points, it had its bad points. It was pretty average WrestleMania. But in saying that, would it be a WrestleMania watch again? Probably not in the near future, no.
Oh, okay. Well, before we go any further, I'm going to touch on the Brock thing straight away. But oh my God, Finn Balor's entrance was so cool. I enjoyed it. It was deadly, wasn't it? Absolutely rapid. Fellas doing a great job. Reggie, as always, thanks, man. I appreciate that. And it's good to always have you in the comments there, my man. Look, let's just get to it. Here comes the end. That's the headline. Brock did the tears. Heyman got involved and all that. Does still a favor. The prediction and normally the leak is what comes through here is that the favor is called in. I think it was mentioned earlier on in the comments, and we are actually going to have Brock versus Gunther at SummerSlam. I hope to God that that doesn't happen. If it does, it would be absolutely disgraceful. Do you all agree?
No, because I want to see Gunther versus Brock Lesnar. I've always said that from day one.
Yeah,
So,
that
so,
would just
so
be meat slapping meat.
yeah, pretty much. But why? I mean, what's the point? Like if you like, it's like when you see a film and you see that film was perfect. That film is incredible. What do you mean you're doing a sequel? It doesn't fucking need a
Well,
sequel.
look,
Don't do it.
to be honest, Bren, like I just want to see it because I'm a fan of Gunther's, and obviously I do like Brock as well. So I just like to see how a match like that, because we always have dream
Hi,
matches where we're
Reggie.
saying we always have dream matches where we're saying like, oh, I wish we saw this match, which was like Sting versus Taker. We never got to see that, so I just wanted to see the outcome of it really. But more so, like I wouldn't be surprised if we get another. If I see, I agree with Sean Mack saying this is a storyline based. This is he's going to come back somehow because Gunther owes, Paul Heyman owes Gunther a favor. So that favor is definitely going to be Brock Lesnar. It has to be. It can't be anything else. Do I think it's going to end like that? No, because I wouldn't be surprised if we get like another Obafemi Brock Lesnar feud again for a second time somewhere down the line, and then it'll probably officially end.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I think if it ends well, it was almost too perfect. It was like Ric Flair's retirement. Not, no, it wasn't anything like that actually. But it's the same sentiment, isn't it? When
Mm.
Ric Flair retired with Shawn Michaels, it was like this is perfect. Oh Jesus, he's coming back to TNA. Oh my God, he's bleeding again. Oh shit, he's having a heart attack by the ring again. All that stuff, we don't want to see it.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think Sean Mack, you gave your sentiment towards it. Sean O, would you like to see him come back?
Do you know, I'm on the fence. I'd love to see him come back and face Gunther. I think that would be an absolute phenomenal match. But you look at the photo there and you see it on WrestleMania 2, he was crying. And look, I know everyone can pull a little crocodile tears when they need to, but you have to look at it this way. You see Brock Lesnar crying in the ring and apparently retiring. Someone who wouldn't even give over or sit down if told by the looks or by people like Vince McMahon. Wouldn't even listen to him. Wouldn't care what he said. But if Vince McMahon told him to cry, he'd say, "What the hell are you talking about? Fuck off. You know, I'm not going to cry for you. I'm not going to pull crocodile tears just for a storyline. That's too babyish for me, you know." And we look at the likes of WrestleMania, and he's sitting crying in the ring. To be honest, I kind of believe that he is retiring, but I wouldn't be opposed to him returning and facing Gunther.
I think Brock Lesnar is such a big star that he can pull his own strings when he wants to retire. It
Well,
doesn't
he
have to
can.
be against Gunther.
No, he
Do you
can.
know?
It's factual. But I guess my point is how did you feel when John Cena tapped out to Gunter? And then how did you feel when it was announced that AJ Styles was going up against
But
Gunter?
that's the problem,
And then
Brian.
going
They call
forward,
it, yeah,
and yeah, they've pigeonholed Gunter. It is
yeah.
not a nice place to be. Career killer, my balls. Get rid of it. Don't need it. Too predictable, and it's too safe. And people, this isn't heel heat. People legitimately don't like this, in my opinion. Sean Mack, do you think I'm talking bollocks, or what do you think?
I think you're talking. No, I wouldn't say that.
I would have loved that.
Well, the thing is, right? As Keith said, Brock and Gunther, prior to all this stuff, was a match I was itching for. And if it's not happening, you know, Brock is a professional. He went out the right way by putting over and selling his arse off for
Yeah.
a young talent. Can you imagine a match where his face is not as purple as his chest after Big Daddy Gunther gets his hands on him?
Yeah.
I think it would be a really stiff, hard hitting match. The only thing is though, the career killer. Gunther's only retired one person. Let me explain. The AJ Styles match was a stipulation match. If he lost, he had to retire. John Cena's was his final match. So win, lose, or draw, Cena was gone. So he beat one person, right? So I don't know, but yeah, the career killer thing. But the thing is, right? It could be now. It could be different now because he got cheered when he left, ironically, which is very rude. I don't think people have the same love for Brock Lesnar as they do Cena or AJ Styles. Can you just imagine he beats him and then the crowd just go, "Oh, fair enough."
I get what you're saying, Sean, but for me, it would just wreck my head. And like Layla here, I don't, I won't. I'll just be frustrated. I'll probably cry in frustration, Layla, as well.
But Bren, if this wasn't a career killer type of deal that he had, would you be opposed to having this match?
Yeah, I'm absolutely opposed to having this match. No, like 100%. Are you saying if he didn't retire? I mean, if he didn't
If not
retire,
just
yeah,
retire,
fair
yeah.
enough.
Yeah.
But again, it's just it backs us into the same predictable corner, and it's not good enough. It's not good enough. You're tuning into SummerSlam, and you know the results of the matches already. I remember Saturday Night Live. I'll never Saturday Night main event. I'll never forget just sitting there watching it, going, that was the biggest crock of shit. And Sean, I understand what you're saying about AJ, but I remember watching the Rumble saying, this is the biggest crock of shit. It's not good. And that's just my opinion on it anyway. I mean, I understand what you are saying. It's a good wrestling match, maybe. Or maybe it'll just be another sleeper holding. That's it.
Adding fuel to the fire.
There's not, yeah, but
Take-
it doesn't need fire. That it doesn't need fuel.
Yeah, and
That
Brian,
fire
don't worry
shouldn't have
about
been.
don't worry about
What?
having a different opinion. You know, it takes all sorts to make a world. So
You're damn
don't
right,
you worry.
Sean. You're damn right. Sharon's in. Why would you want them to tap out to Gunter? His gimmick is a legend killer. It's such a letdown for retirement. The John Cena debacle, 100%. He's about right. Yeah, it's true. Brock should have happened ages ago. But it will be so bad on Oba. Yeah, I think Oba can carry it for a while though. We'll see. It was a perfect end of the match, Dave. I agree with you. You're forgetting about Goldberg. Yeah, he retired Goldberg. I keep forgetting that as well. Absolutely ridiculous. Now, we all know how we feel about Brock. And we spoke about this extensively, so I won't spend too much long on it. But I did make this. And I have to give Sean Mack the credit. Sean Mack said it on the watch along, and I fell around the place laughing. So after the watch along, when I should have been sleeping, I made this. And it's the AD-itude Era. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because TKO, anybody who's watched a UFC event, I've watched one. I've watched a few. Sean Mack has watched a few. Keith, Sean O, have you ever watched a UFC event?
Of course.
I'm not
Okay,
really
so then you
interested.
know it goes fight, add, fight. This is where WWE is now. And what I'm saying is, this isn't just a catchphrase. We are literally going into the ad era of WWE. If you thought ads were bad before, if you thought ads were too much before, WrestleMania is but a taste of what we're going to get. What do you reckon?
It ruins the flow to it, to be quite honest with you. When watching WrestleMania there, like, you know, you're trying to watch the matches, and if it's the reason why they're making the matches so short because they're more focusing on ads, it's not a good look for WWE in total, to be quite honest with you, because they should be more focusing on the matches and the storylines than there is for ads. But we live in a world now where WWE is purely all based on greed, and they don't give a shit about the product itself. That's the issue. Yeah, if it's going forward, look, what the best thing we have to do is just tune out and not pay attention to the ads as much as we were so pissed off with them. But yeah, I don't know, to be honest with you. It's not really looking good going forward if they're going to be doing this with the big pay-per-views.
Sean O, I mean, are the ads off button? Does it take you out of the story?
Oh, God. To be honest, we're so used to the ads, but it's still like a slap in the face because you want to be able to sit down. I think WWE and TKO have forgotten what we're really here for. We're here for wrestling. This is what your company is. This is what your brand is. We want to be able to sit down and actually watch the matches and enjoy them. Not being like, oh, let's go to ads, or we'll be back in 2 minutes for ads, or oh, look, a Hogan documentary's coming out. Fucking lovely.
I didn't know about that.
I didn't know about that.
Wait, what?
You know? I am a
Find out something new every day.
British
Don't you?
American. But like, you get what I'm saying. It, as Keith said, it really does ruin the flow because
Yeah.
you just want to sit down and watch wrestling and enjoy it. And I know we're on YouTube here, but it has become like YouTube for the fact that every few seconds, every few minutes, there is an ad, and it just ruins the vibe. It really does. And
Before
and
I
I
go,
think
go on.
go on ahead. No, go on ahead.
I was gonna say before I go to Sean Mack about this, and we're gonna have to fly through the rest of them now because we have to get to Raw. This is a comment that's just been made by Dan. All I'm saying is, and this is not me, this is Dan. All I'm saying is, if Vince came back, we wouldn't have the ad issue. Sean Mack, talk to me.
Watch a single episode of SmackDown from 2019 and tell me that you think the product is worse now. Just saying. Look, I'm not opposed to advertising in general. It
Yeah.
sells. WrestleMania and WWE are huge. People are going to see that and hear about it. The same way that, maybe not the same way, but the same concept where if one of us is doing a short, we share it, put it on story, say, hey, new short up, we're advertising that. But the amount that we got, especially at WrestleMania, I'm used to the ad breaks. I used to watch Raw live when it was on TV in America, and you'd get the same ads like every time. It was like a whole different experience. But this weekend in particular was completely egregious. I know we're taking the piss out of the Hogan documentary. It's not like they showed like a trailer for it, right? A snippet, like, but what happens? The Hulk Hogan Real American on that. They showed snippets of it, 4-minute snippets, totally uncut. And then the We'll Be Right Back. It's starting to become a parody of itself. The same way we now have Slim Jim tables. The same way that at Money in the Bank, a Grande Americano needed the weekly American vodka ladder. It's becoming a parody of itself. And I remember Shane Helms defending this. He said, because the first thing people were giving out about was all the sponsors on the mat. I mean, I'm used to that now. I watch UFC, and everyone's like, how come like you never complained when it was UFC? And we're like, because it's always been like that. WWE's never been like that. TKO, are given out by the company not making enough money, not selling tickets, as if they're not the people that dug the fucking hole and threw the company in there in the first place. It's egregious. And WrestleMania was really, really hard to get through because of the ads. Not every match needs a mascot, a thing on the barricade. It doesn't need a thing on turnbuckles. Like, it reminded me, I think the worst case ever was WrestleMania 39. That was the first Roman Cody. The blood feud match was Ray versus Dominic, right? They had Ray coming out while Cinnamon Toast Crunch was dancing jovially beside him. And that was a father-son feud about like home invasions and betrayals. And
dressed up as that mascot.
Look, advertising has its time and place. There is nothing wrong with Michael Cole going, and this match is brought to you by
Snickers.
By the TFI Leap card. Then he reads your thing, TFI Leap card, then back to the match. That's fine. But the documentary stuff was just far too much. And the thing is, these shows are not, I saw someone say this and it really made me think, these shows are not meant to be watched live because of the ad breaks and everything else, and the We'll Be Right Back and all that, which is pretty bad for your wrestling show. But it needs to be fixed. But as long as the current people are in charge, it will never be fixed.
Would I be crazy in saying that WrestleMania itself as a whole, as a show, felt more like an ad than the biggest pay-per-view of the year?
Yeah,
there was wrestling.
It was ad mania.
Sean Mack said it. Sean Mack said it. They get me wrestling between my ads.
You know what some of the wrestlers say about WrestleMania? They often call it the Super Bowl of wrestling, as in it's the biggest show of the year. You know what the Super Bowl is full of? Ads. I see everyone talking about the new movie trailers and new show announcements and the funny adverts, and I do the match. I tried to stay up for it. It was miserable. They'd have breaks every 2 minutes, then podcasts, and then advertisements. The same thing is happening here.
See, they're so used to that, Sean Mack. They're so used to that, the Americans over there, that it's like drinking water for them. Do you know, like we're not used to that over here.
We will, and I suppose we will, but it's just so jarring. Like, why not just let WrestleMania be WrestleMania? There's a reason it's called WrestleMania. That's put on by the company. That's abbreviation is World Wrestling Entertainment. Have your ads, have your sponsors, have your trailers for your films or or ads for shows or podcasts or something, that's fine. No one will care. In fact, someone will probably find out, oh, wait, Stephanie McMahon has a podcast. Oh, wait, she did an episode with, I think she did one with Oba recently. Hey, I'll listen to that. That's good advertising. But shoving
Pretty
it
good.
down your throat and taking you out of the action is not the way to do it. And it gets annoying. And especially
Mm.
when so much of, I forget the statistic, I think 37 minutes of night one alone was taken up by Hogan ads.
It was. It was.
You
It's like
couldn't have,
Sean.
you could, yeah,
was gonna
well
say
over
to
half
Sean,
hour to Hogan, to like a Hogan documentary, and you couldn't have given the women's title match. It was one of the best years going into it more than 6 minutes. Like, come on, man, what are we doing here?
You're
Sean,
right.
if they had a flow with like matches to say like the Stephanie Vaquer got a decent time, and then after that, then it was another match with to say Trick Williams or something like that, and then it was a backstage segment. They had something then, and then they went to an ad. That would probably be all right. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
It wouldn't be
that's
as
palatable.
Yeah,
egregious. Yeah.
I think overall, I think Sean, you've hit the nail on the head. And Keith,
And
you're
one
dead
more,
right.
and one more
Go on.
thing, I know we're taking up time. We talked about how great the ladder match was. I forgot to mention that part of one of the 5-minute Hogan ads cut into the entrances.
Yeah.
JD, Dragon Lee, and Rusev were all already out there when the Hogan
So
thing came
sad.
back.
So
Yeah.
sad.
So it's
it
really
happened.
cutting. And look, JD didn't have a special entrance. Rusev didn't have a special entrance. Dragon Lee didn't either. There's no reason you couldn't have shown them.
It takes away from their WrestleMania moment, right? You know, so I mean, it's a privilege to be part of WrestleMania, and you want the full WrestleMania experience. It's an awful shame, but I'm sure we're going to be talking about that more in the coming weeks. We'll take some comments and jump on to Raw. Before we do, I love the Attitude Era. Layla, keep an eye on the channel. There is an Attitude show coming very soon, where and it's gonna be a limited show. It's not gonna go on for a long time. It's gonna have a limited amount of episodes. All will be revealed in the future.
Who's sponsoring that?
Oh yeah. We do actually have a sponsor. Wait
Wait a minute.
Come on, Brain.
Raw is worse than SmackDown for the ads. I just don't like the ads. Pissing me off. It's pissing Layla off. I learned what PMO means on the SmackDown show. This is where Layla showed me what it meant.
He's with the times.
I'm getting with the times. SmackDown does not stop mid-card, mid-match for ads. Raw does. This is the comment from Dan. Dan, wonderful as always. Like I've said during the watch along TKO, only see dollar signs. Yes, indeed, my friend. That is true. The ads nearly make me fall asleep for WrestleMania. They're tough.
You and us
They're
four,
tough.
Layla.
Tell my dad that I don't need to go to bed at 9:30. Dave, allow Layla to stay up. We're going to be on past 9:30, so at least give her that, Layla. We're not going to be on too much past 9:30, but at least give her a few more minutes, my friends.
Here is an essential part to a balanced and healthy lifestyle.
Right.
Amen. Preach to the choir.
Not
Can I get a
the
whoop-whoop?
not that many ads on the other PLAs. Not yet, though. Not yet. Dave, please leave her until the end. I need another lady on here with me. I've no doubt.
You've got
Dave
teeth.
will
Hate
do
to
the
break
right
it,
thing.
you are not going to find a romantic partner in the live stream of the Upper Tier podcast. That ain't happening,
Well,
partner.
Well, you might. Real quick, right? I have to cover this before we go into Raw, and it's just this one slide, right? But it covers a multitude of things. Now, what we learned is that apparently there was complaints about the lack of security for the wrestlers in the hotel, and there wasn't as much security as there normally would have been in previous years, which means situations like this happened. We've seen videos of CM Punk. We've seen videos of Randy Orton. We've seen fans being so disrespectful, being so invasive, going to their hotel room. Damian Priest helped a female WWE talent escape a mob of fans just before the CM Punk incident. And people are trying to paint CM Punk as the bad guy for trying to help his wife. This is absolute bullshit. If you're a wrestling fan, be respectful. Be respectful. Go to the meet and greets. There's an argument. They're famous. That's part of the job. Bullshit. Bullshit. It's not part of the job. The fans that surrounded those wrestlers going into their hotels, in the hotel lobbies, should be ashamed of themselves. And as for the hotels, seriously, cop on to yourself. If I'm WWE, I'm not booking you again. Lucky for you guys, I'm not WWE. And WWE up that security because that was disgraceful, some of the videos we've seen. And I am with the wrestlers on this one completely. I do believe that they do put themselves out there and the fans help them get there. Totally understand that. But there's a time and place. Absolutely disgraceful. And I'd like to thank Anto for that slide. Sean Mack, what do you think of this? Like you're the rational voice in my head sometimes. So what do you think of this?
It's very kind of you. No, I completely agree with you, Bren. This is a fucking joke. I am all for being absolutely starstruck at seeing people you love or admire on TV and seeing them in real life. Like, there's nothing I love more than getting to meet wrestlers, shake their hand, get a picture. It's one of the things I love about indie wrestling, right? But when they're in a hotel or an airport or anywhere else, that's the one tiny, tiny amount of free time that they have.
Yeah.
That is not an excuse for you to camp out their hotel. Same thing happened. It happened in Raw in Belfast, happened in SmackDown in Dublin. That's the one bit of free time they have. When they're on the street or in an airport, that's not the wrestler, that's the person. And they don't owe you anything. There's a time and a place. Now, if you want to get a picture with someone at a show, you'll never meet a wrestler at a wrestling show who won't take a picture with you, who won't sign something for you, who won't interact with you, have a chat with you. I think CM Punk was absolutely right. It's a huge invasion of privacy. It's been happening for so long. Like, you always see wrestlers in airports and like dickheads with bins of like loads of merch. And the thing is, they're not real fans. I went to Blaze Bailey from Iron Maiden. Wonderful night, great gig. But he announced beforehand that he would not be doing meet and greets or signings at the end of shows. He used to do that completely for free. But he would sign like an Iron Maiden album or something, and it would be thrown up on eBay for like 3 times the price. It's the same thing happening in wrestling. And like, it's so disappointing. And look, I know attacking fans not great, but then again, it's not like the fan said hi Punk, then Punk just rushed him and double legged him like an unprovoked animal that needs to be in a cage. You know, I think Punk actually did like what was it, like GQ? You know, these undercover on the internet things.
Yeah.
Like hi, I'm going undercover on the internet, and they answer questions about themselves. And he said, like, when I'm in a hotel or I'm in an airport or I'm walking my dog on the street, I'm not CM Punk. I'm not like this wrestling god. I'm Phil Brooks,
100%.
and what you're doing is akin to stalking. And here's the thing: people say, "Oh, like we got them there, and like we're real fans." If you're a real fan, you know the boundaries. You know these people are humans. You know they need the exact same respect, decency, and privacy, just like any of us. And let's just say someone's giving out about this. How about I go into their place of work, go outside and say, "Oh my God, can I take a picture with you?" You're like, "No, what are you doing inside my place of work? I have to do something." Of course you're not going to. Like, Brand, if I showed up in your house unprovoked, they didn't know me, and I said, "Hey man, can I get a picture with you?" You're probably going to kick me in the head and throw me out the top window like Butthead in Beavis and Butthead to America or something. Like, it's really bad. And fans, I promise you, that they appreciate you. The wrestlers appreciate us. They do owe us that. But when it comes to like real life, when they're outside the ring, they don't owe us anything. They don't owe you a
100%.
signed picture. They don't owe you their time. Now, of course, if just say hello. Hey, fan your work. That's 2 seconds. Thanks. You're not holding up anyone. You're being nice. If anything, I've heard stories where people have seen wrestlers in restaurants and they've just smiled and waved at them, right? And the wrestlers come over at the end. I think this actually happened with like Cesaro and a few of the people. Came over at the end and said, "Hey, thank you so much for respecting our privacy." And they have a chat and they take pictures.
Amazing.
Decency, respect, and common sense will take you a long way in life. These are real people. Give them the real privacy they deserve. Please.
100%.
100%.
Couldn't have said it better. And I lads, I'm absolutely 100% sure you agree.
Yeah.
Amazing. CM Punk had to slap the phone out of a person's hand because the person would not leave it. CM Punk, and I agree. I know you went on and said it later on. CM Punk, if it was me and Sean hit the nail on the head, I would have done the same. I wouldn't have just broke their phone. I would have broke their faces.
The thing about it is, Brent, is that we don't know exactly what happened before they pressed record on that camera. Something else could have happened that we just don't know about.
Oh, we do. I can tell you now, because the prick that took the video is clearly a prick. He's shown himself up to be a prick.
Calm down.
You're right. I apologize. You're dead right. No, it's fair play to Dave, leaving Layla up. Thank you, says Sharon. 100% lads, absolutely, Anto. I think we can all be in unison with that. He did not attack the fan. No, he did not. You're dead right, Sharon. I totally agree. CM Punk slapping the phone away, I would have bleed drop kicked him. Talking about Iron Maiden, I met Bruce one time as a pilot as he was flying our charter.
Oh
Very
wow,
nice.
Bruce Dickinson is so metal. He's a playwright. He makes wine. He sings in Iron Maiden, and he's a pilot. But
That's
that happened, Bruce
amazing.
Dickinson. I saw a video of him going through an airport, and some guy was filming him, following him with loads of like posters and vinyl, and he just kept going. And he goes, "See this? Mr. Dickinson doesn't care about his fans." And then his security guard just said, "Just be respectful. Respect and decency takes you a long way. They don't owe you anything. Let them be."
100%. Layla, I'm not saying any of this because
No,
A,
ban.
I'm 41, and
6,
B,
7.
I still don't. Sean,
6,
Layla,
7.
your permission to stay up past 9:30 is revoked. Bed now, no dinner.
Does that mean I have to go to bed?
So before I'm not even going to answer that. Let's get straight on to Raw. I did want to talk about this, but I don't think we have time. So we'll go straight on to Raw. Before we do, one more comment from Dave. Bran, you're right. The fan at the end said Punk was having a bad day. Doesn't matter what kind of day he's having, Dave.
Had a bad day because he's
not at
getting
all.
filmed by some dickhead in a hotel.
100%.
Yeah.
Keith, take me through Raw.
I thought Raw was okay, to be honest with you. It wasn't really the standard that we're trying to think of a Raw after Mania, where we're thinking like something huge was going to happen. They had some really good points to it. It didn't have some great points to it. The Obafemi start to Raw, I have to say, lads, this was not piped in. I know a lot of you say it's piped in, but this guy they absolutely love him. They really do. The way he has been presented, the way he
One
comes
sentence,
out.
though, Keith. One sentence, not a promo.
That-
Just a sentence.
Just a sentence, that's all. But even before the sentence, lads, they were just chanting his name. Like, it took him about 5 minutes to say something. And you know what? I think that's all he needed. I'm interested to see where they go with Obafemi for now until SummerSlam. Obviously, we're going to get Roman Reigns, but even for the next month, it'll be interesting to see what they're going to do. Look,
He's
I'm
no
kind
balls around his neck anymore, either. Doesn't look like he's going to have balls
the
around
big
his neck.
coconuts. Yeah.
Yeah, so there you go. Go on, sorry.
Look, the Kairi Singh match. She needs to be careful diving out of that rope because it looked like she nearly broke her neck again. To be honest with you, so she needs to be careful there. It was a good match. I think it's the right decision to split them up because Rhea's going over to SmackDown now. So I just hope to God we're not continuing on with that Jade Cargill stuff and it's something different. The Punk and Cody thing was interesting. It kind of like when I was watching, it's like, where is this going? But then when near to the end, then it's like, okay, it's looking like we're going to get a Punk Cody feud at some point down the road. Do you know what? This was actually pretty good for Ethan Page. I've watched him a couple of times. This was actually a good match to have him and Javon Evans because Javon Evans is only 21. Ethan Page is on the late 30s, so it was actually a good mix. And it was a good way of getting them started in the main roster as well. Now, the Liv Morgan stuff, it was great to see. So, what's her name again? Sol Ruka coming into a good match, I have to say. Haven't watched much of her, but what I've seen for her, she's been very impressive, I have to say. I'm so glad we're still getting Stephanie Vaquer and Liv Morgan because they didn't get the time that they needed to put on a really good match, and the storyline they built up throughout the whole WrestleMania has been fantastic. I hope we get another month or two of this with those two ladies because they've been stellar and they've been absolutely great and great chemistry as well. The division promo, I have to say, the Brock Lesnar segment for that was great. What Paul Heyman did, it says, get him out of the now, put him in for everything. Really, really good. And you know what? Street Profits coming out, I'm actually like that. Like I'm interested to see what they're going to do with Street Profits and Vision. It'd be interesting to see what they do going forward. Finn Balor with his promos and all was good. Again, the only issue I have here, lads, is that I don't want this to drag out until SummerSlam. I think this has a shelf and a time frame for this, and I think it has probably another month or two left in it. I just hope that they don't drag it out that long. The closing now, look, this I absolutely love because I spoke to you about this, Bren. I absolutely loved this. When Jacob Fatu's music here, I absolutely marked out and I popped for this because I absolutely love Jacob Fatu, and I've always wanted to see this match. And this guy just has everything. Jacob Fatu, he has the charisma, he can talk on the mic, he's a very good wrestler. I know he's not going to win this. It's going to be just a little filler match for a month or two. But in saying that, though, if this is built correctly, I'm really down for this. I have to say, overall, Raw, look, for Mania standards, it wasn't the best, but Raw itself, I'll give about a seven out of 7.5 out of 10, like something like that in that
Yeah.
range. It wasn't a terrible Raw by any means. But for Mania standards after Raw, it wasn't really the best, to be honest. But that's what I think thought of Raw.
Right, Sean, now before I go to you, 2 seconds. Good to see Paige getting called up and a stupid Joe Hendry concert next week. The concerts are getting a bit much, although he's much better than he's much better than Ricky Saints. That was one of the worst segments I've ever seen. Lads, any superstar that had a match or promo 24 hours after WrestleMania is a legend, as WrestleMania is a very big event. I will say I wasn't mad about Raw. It just, I don't know. I think it's
It
just
was okay.
peaked. I
Yeah.
think it's just peaked. I can't wait to see Joe Hendry. Do you know what? I'm just happy for Joe Hendry. I used to watch Joe Hendry on What Culture 10 years ago. Phenomenal guy. Guys, saying Raw was a letdown. Bit bad considering any superstar that had a match at Mania turned up 24 hours later for Raw is a superstar in my eyes. Indeed. Did he sign Raw? Did who sign for Raw? Joe Hendry? Yes. Yes. Who, David? I think he said Joe Hendry. Yeah, he's definitely going to Raw. Well, he has the concert next week, so I assume. I think he is on Raw. Fatu is absolutely amazing. Yes, he is. He is my favorite Samoan. Phenomenal. Joe Hendry should have been on Raw since he dropped the DNA Championship. No dispute for me. Sean O, take me through your Raw experience.
What a Raw. I actually really enjoyed this. I do
Wow.
agree with Keith, though. I don't think this was Raw after Mania standards, but nonetheless, it was quite an enjoyable Raw. I think Obafemi fits beautifully into the Raw roster, and I've been a massive fan of his since his debut in NXT, and
Mm.
I will always stick by him. I think his work is 101. I think he's brilliant, and just hitting the one liner last night after defeating Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania, the grandest stage of them all, I think was just beautiful. Um, Io Sky and Rhea Ripley defeating the Kabuki Warriors. I'm not a big Kabuki Warriors fan as of late. That's not
Oh,
to say their work is
Jesus.
not stellar. And
I said,
I,
sorry. I said Sean, not Keith. Oh, Sean, that is you talking.
no, it is
What?
Surprise! Me and Keats row in the same boat.
Um,
Keep it
so yeah,
rolling.
Titanic.
um, look, overall decent match. It's quite sad we're getting the split up of EO and Rhea now, or Rio as they call themselves. Um, obviously Rhea going to SmackDown now, which will be a big upgrade for the SmackDown roster to say the least. Overall, quite an enjoyable match. CM Punk and Cody Rhodes, as good of a promo as it was, I still did not care. Two of my least favorite people at the moment in a feud or whatever this is. I really could not care, if I'm being honest with you. But I'll give it to them. It was a good promo. I'm just not that interested, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
Ethan
Right.
Page making his debut. It's about freaking time, but I think it's the wrong roster. I'm happy he's on Raw, but I still think he should be on SmackDown with Chelsea Green. I just thought that connection was absolutely beautiful, and the chemistry there was phenomenal. Um, but the crowd actually seemed to love Ethan Page last night, which was great to
They
see. He
did.
got a pop when he
Mm.
appeared backstage, and when he made his entrance, he got a big pop. So I'm excited to see, the next few months how he gets on Raw, and obviously defeating Javon Evans. I'm getting like you, Bren, now. I can't
He's mate.
speak.
He's mate John. All right, John.
All
Go
right,
on.
John. John Evans. And funny enough, I don't know if anyone's seen the video the other day. Um, at WrestleMania, a lot of people were going around asking wrestlers, what did you spend your first paycheck on? And
Yeah.
a lot of wrestlers said, "Oh, I saved it, or I put it into a savings account, or I just bought something small, or I went out for food with my family." And then there was Javon Evans.
I bought a Tesla.
Like, very good, Javon. Obviously, Liv Morgan and the Judgment Day promo I thought was brilliant. Um, do you know what? I'm actually kind of getting behind Liv Morgan now. Am I still loving her character? No. Um, the whole Daddy Dom side, we know about this. I'm not a big fan of it. But I am still excited for her reign nonetheless. Your Teslas. Um, uh, and Sol Ruka finally on the main roster. Um, and I am very, very excited for this feud. We all know, and if you watch the women's show and the NXT show, you know how big of a Sol Ruka fan I am. She's one of my absolute favorites in WWE, which stands for
Wheatley's World Entertainment.
um,
Your vodka.
but absolutely amazing non-title match, and I think we can all agree Sol Ruka is just something else. Her
Just deadly special.
athleticness is just one in a million. It's phenomenal, the stuff she can do, and that Soul Snatcher is absolutely horrendous.
I would love to get hit with one.
But hate it at the same time. Look, overall, Soul Ruka has a match tonight on NXT, but I'm praying that as of next week, she is officially part of the Raw roster, and her and Liv can continue their feud. The Vision promo, I wasn't too interested in. To be honest with you, I actually kind of forgot they were holding the World Tag Team titles, which in my opinion isn't a great start. But
No.
as I said, I'm I've gotten to be a big Logan Paul fan as of the past year or two, but not too big of an Austin Theory fan. I kind of find he's just in the background and not really there. Um, Finn Balor coming out in his OG gear, absolutely brilliant to see. As I said earlier, we're finally getting the old Finn Balor back, the OG Finn Balor, and this will be his year. Defeating JD McDonough in a absolute stellar match, and I'm a massive JD McDonough fan too. Absolutely underrated, and Roman Reigns and the Usos closing Raw. The title looks absolutely glorious on Roman, and if it is true, if what he says is true, and we are getting him full time, I think this could be something great. But as I said,
Please do not give us 4 years of a reign.
SummerSlam maybe or WrestleMania next year is the absolute max I want to see. If it's any longer
Yeah.
than that,
I will be all elite.
Bren, you forgot to add something to this that we didn't talk about, and it was Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker segment.
It's not that I forgot. This is the image that I just got, and we
Oh,
will talk.
sorry.
We're not gonna have time to talk about it, unfortunately, unless the man who's gonna take us home, the man who's gonna close the show before we close the show, the main event, Sean Mack. What was your Raw experience like?
The man has come
Brian.
around.
Brian, you're going to get the next slide, I promise. Oba Family opening was really cool, very effective and sure. Io Sky and Rhea against Kabuki Wars is pretty cool. I'm really into the friendship of Rhea and Io, but it doesn't seem like WWE are. Punk and Cody Rhodes is cool. Ethan Page defeating Javon Evans was cool. Need to establish Ethan as he's called up. Liv Morgan promo was awful. Great to see Sol Ruka on the main roster. Vision promo was okay. I think Braun Breaker's really refreshed the group since coming back. Finn Balor and JD, man, they're so good. Wouldn't it be great to just have a clean match? Never happened.
And a longer match, But
And
go
a
on,
longer
sorry.
match. No, not going to happen. And then Roman closing Raw was really good. I remember when he was feuding with Division, the Jacob Fatu match was much more interesting, especially when he was flirting with him a little bit. So I'm glad we're finally getting that. Yeah, as an episode of Raw, pretty good. As an episode of Raw after WrestleMania, pretty underwhelming.
I could not have put that better myself. Perfecto. So, what a packed out show this has been. Normally we do birthdays and history. Everything will be back to normal next week. Niall will be in with the notable birthdays in the history. Niall will lead the show, and we'll be back to normal. Do keep an eye on the channel. The shorts coming in left, right, and center. There's other shows coming. We'll have a football show on Thursday, I think, but do keep an eye on that. The SmackDown show will be live. Well, wait, I might have to come back to you on the SmackDown show, but the SmackDown show will be this week at 8 o'clock. It's going to be an absolute blast. Keith knows what it's all about, and it's going to be amazing. Now, before
Right.
we close out, yes?
I have birthdays. I'll look them up. Stealing Niall's gimmick.
Oh, I tell you what, Sean, if you can do it in 60 seconds, let's get it done.
Okay.
On
there's
Mac,
some people
notable
here.
birthdays. Go.
Right. Notable birthdays. Nikki Cross, born today. Vicky Williams, who's a former pro wrestler, competed during the 70s, won the NWA World Tag Titles with Joyce. Giorgio
Also, the
Poulas.
name of the woman that I lived with in Canada. One of the
really?
women that I lived with in Canada, yeah. Vicky Williams. Anyway, go on.
Wow. Georgie Poulas. He wrestled Bradley Martin for some reason. I don't know. Brutus Beefcake. The barber is 69 years old today. Orlando
Oh,
Jordan is 52 today. Of course, Orlando Jordan was 1/3 of what did JBL call his faction? His cabinet, was it?
Yeah.
I wonder if he's still on the Undertaker thing. The old.
I don't know.
Don't
I really don't know.
interrupt the birthdays. Don't interrupt the birthdays.
Yeah.
Keep going, Sean.
Yeah, don't you ever do that again, Keith. There will
Sorry,
there will be
Sean.
blood.
I'll shut up.
Don't forgiven on this occasion. And then a sad one that will pull at my heartstrings. Today, we would have been celebrating the 55th birthday of Axel Rotten. Fortunately, he passed away in 2016. But today would have been his 55th birthday. He's a real loss. I know a lot of us who love ECW would have loved him and Balls Mahoney swinging chairs around like it was going out of fashion. But yeah, that's your no birthdays. Thank you to I think Celeb Birthdays is where I got that. Famousbirthdays.com. Yeah, not quite
Amazing.
as detailed as Niall's, but you know
Doesn't
it's
matter.
good enough.
It's
We'll
my
get the
favorite.
standard
It's one of my favorite parts of the show. So Sean Mack, we really appreciate you doing that. I did not expect it. He didn't run it by us. That was a beautiful thing that you did there. Let's close out the show with some comments. The Cybertrucks in America are mad looking. Yes, they are. Layla, even if I got your name right, you call her Kayla. Me too. Sorry, I'd like to get hit by one. Sean Mack, the legend that is. You want to get hit by Sean Mack?
by me with the chair.
Oh, okay.
I'm very
thanks,
uncoordinated. Will hurt you severely.
Sharon was nearly she nearly was a Kayla. It was talked about straight from Layla's daddy. Sharon Lynch, how can Saul be on the main roster when she's fighting on NXT? I think tonight's our good boy, Hullabaloo. We might get Rhea versus Liv in Crown Jewel if we get one. I think we will get one. I am confused. Tell us what you're confused about, and we can talk about it. R.I.P. Axel, 100%.
And Balls.
And
Two
Balls
great
Mahoney
guys,
too.
both sadly no longer with us.
John, take away your background. It's making us sick. Good night, lads.
There's
Packed show.
Nothing in
Great
this
stuff.
two in bed.
Dave, absolute pleasure, man. To you and Layla, thank you so much. When he said that about Sol Ruka, understood. Now Sol Ruka is her good boy in NXT tonight, and then that's it. She'll be on the main roster, from what I can see anyway. But it is WWE, and sometimes they don't make sense. So, to every single person that's commented, it's been a real blast. Thank you very much. It was lovely to talk about this tonight. Obviously, me with my broken voice, the boys taking time out of their evenings, as always, a divine pleasure. What a great panel we had tonight. Keith, Sean Max, Sean O, absolute legends. Really, really enjoyed this. As always, drop a like on the video, hit that bell notification, and subscribe to the channel. And
Get
smash
in the
those
conversation.
MFing likes. And until next time, this has been a real pleasure. Thank you to everybody in the comments. And we'll see you next week when we go back to normal. Wait.
Uh-oh.
Smash the likes, people, says Sharon. And Layla, good night. God bless. I just had
Night,
to get them
Layla.
in there.
You made it past half 9.
Good night and God bless everybody. And thank you for joining us. We'll see you on the next show. Keep an eye on the channel. And we'll see you on the next show. All the best. Good night.
Thanks,
Bye.
everyone.